Hey everyone, welcome to blockchainprime. I'm Chatransh, and in this video we are going to learn about the basics of Kava network. This video will be followed by a series of videos which is going to teach you uh, about how to create your first decentralized application, your first full stack decentralized application on Kava network. But before we get into learning about the Kava blockchain, let's do a small activity and search about Kava on Google. So Kava is basically, when you Google it, it says it's a beverage or extract made from this plant called Piper methysticum. So it's a beverage made out of this plant. It's this crop or plant is very native to the Pacific region, and people use that beverage as a drink. They drink it in ceremonies to just relax. Okay, so keeping that in mind, let us also relax, get in a comfortable place, and try to learn more about the Kava network. So Kava network is the first layer 1 blockchain that combines the speed and scalability of Cosmos SDK with the developer support of Ethereum. So two crucial terms to keep in mind here is the Cosmos SDK and Ethereum. So what Kava does is it combines the power of these two vibrant Web3 ecosystems into one. That is the gist about Kava. Let's talk about the features what Kava chain has, like the features that are crucial or key features to the Kava chain. First key feature is what we talked about earlier, is that it has a co-chain architecture. So this is a unique architecture that Kava has created. It's called the co-chain architecture, which basically combines Cosmos and Ethereum toolings into one. Okay, so we're going to talk more about this architecture in the next slide, but there is a fundamental question that we should answer before we move ahead. The question is, why do we even need a co-chain architecture? Why was there a need for having a co-chain architecture? Why not just go with some other kind of architecture? So the Kava team has done a very good job in explaining this in this article that they released for the Kava 10 upgrade. In the article, the team has mentioned that Kava chose to build using the Cosmos SDK because it was very clear that Ethereum architecture has scalability issues. Okay, so according to the team, it was quite clear that to support a very decentralized future, that is the thing that Web3 is about, right? To create a decentralized future. In that, scaling or scalability is gonna be a huge issue, and Ethereum architecture right now isn't the most optimum for that. That's what the Kava team realized, and that's why they preferred using Cosmos SDK at first, on the Cosmos SDK, so that they can get better scalability. And Cosmos ecosystem is an ever-growing ecosystem. It has more than 30 chains and a lot of dApps building on those chains, right? So it's a growing ecosystem which has a scalable architecture and a lot of applications being built on it. So the team started out initially with this Cosmos SDK or using the Cosmos SDK to build Kava. Now you may ask, then why did they choose to build on Ethereum or have Ethereum in their architecture as well? Because Ethereum is not scalable, right? According to what's mentioned. So the main reason, and this is very smart to be honest, the Kava team figured out that the developer ecosystem of Ethereum is the most vibrant developer ecosystem in the whole Web3 space right now. So Ethereum has the most number of active developers working day in and day out towards contributing and making the Ethereum ecosystem better. So that's where the team realized that it's better to have both these ecosystem into one uh, network, right? So that's why Kava network exists. So Kava network is basically a combination of two chains. If you go to their docs, you will see that it's called the Ethereum cochain and the Cosmos cochain. That's the main reason why there is a co-chain architecture. You get the developers from the Ethereum ecosystem as well as the Cosmos ecosystem, and you get the scalabilities that the Cosmos SDK provides. Okay, so if you are a Solidity developer, you can directly build in on Kava, and if you are a Go developer, you can use the Cosmos cochain to build your application on Kava. So it gives you the benefits of both. Coming to the second feature, it uses the Tendermint BFT or the Tendermint consensus engine to like do the consensus part of the chain. So it's a native consensus engine to the Cosmos ecosystem. That's what Kava uses for consensus. The two more key features which are very unique to Kava are the on-chain incentives and Kava DAO. So let's get to know about that. So on-chain incentives, what basically it means that a portion of the Kava emission, so every block has Kava emissions, and a portion of that emission goes towards incentivizing developers who are trying to take the Kava ecosystem forward. And this is done on chain, right? So what does this mean? Like there might be a question that arises. Okay, who governs this now? So there's this body called Kava DAO. It's a fully decentralized autonomous organization that governs the whole Kava network. Who are part of this DAO? The stakers and the validators who are basically running the network are part of this, and this body takes the decisions about how these on-chain incentives are gonna be distributed to the people who are trying to build on the Kava ecosystem. Okay, so this is like a basic overview of the key features of what of Kava network, right? So coming on to the architecture part, if you just look at this image that we have in front of us, this clearly explains the architecture. So there is the Ethereum cochain that we talked about. There's the Cosmos cochain, right? These two chains are connected to the respective ecosystem via bridges, right? IBC is called Inter-Blockchain Communication Bridge, and there's the ETH bridge. Now these chains are also connected internally. How? They are like seamlessly connected internally using the translator module that is present in the Kava network, right? So these chains can communicate internally as well. Apart from that, we have the on-chain incentive module, which is governed by the Kava DAO, like we mentioned, right? So this on-chain incentive module helps in distribution of the incentives on-chain to the people who are building on Kava. This whole Kava network is basically the consensus part of it is handled by the Tendermint consensus engine. Okay, so the Tendermint consensus engine takes care of the consensus of the whole Kava network. So this is a gist about how the Kava network architecture looks like. You can read more about it in this article, the link to which will be shared in the description of this video. Now coming to the part, why should you even build on Kava? So the Kava ecosystem gives you a lot of flexibility. If you are a Solidity developer or if you are a Go developer or have built on Cosmos, you can easily build on Kava, right? They are giving you incentivization. They have this Kava Rise program wherein they're gonna give away like $750 million worth developer incentives to people who are trying to build on the Kava ecosystem. So this is an article that explains about the Kava Rise program, and in this article you can see that every block of Kava emissions, out of every block of Kava emissions, 62.5% goes to developer incentives and 37.5% goes to staking rewards. There's no portion for the team and reserves in that. And this kind of makes Kava the first truly builder owned network, uh, which is really impressive since development in this market is gonna change the ecosystem as a whole. So if Kava is totally dedicated towards building a builder owned network, that is something that's gonna be really helpful, right? So there is a huge reason why you can start building on Kava, right? The developer rise program, and there are a lot more incentives program that Kava runs. But now the question arises, how do I start building on Kava? That's where we will help you out. So after this video, you can go through the series of video that we are creating, where we'll tell you right from scratch how you can create your first full stack decentralized application and get it deployed on Kava chain and have it live. Okay, so I hope you go through all these videos, right? So let's start building on Kava chain, and see you in the next video. Thank you so much.